I moved here from LA in 2014. I lived in downtown Santa Monica and Playa Vista at the end. And I lived a short stint in Napa as well. So I totally feel you on how scary it is to move from a bigger city to a smaller city like Austin. Everyone's going to talk about the tax savings and the square footage. I want to tell you what nobody else is telling you. The thing that surprised me wasn't just the square footage, but it was the way that the lifestyle felt living here. What you already know, you're gonna get more house for your money. Yay! No state income tax. Woohoo! Good schools. Yes, Eanes ISD is number 6 in the entire country and number 1 in Texas. My kids actually go there. We also have Lake Travis, which is number 2 in the Austin area. Amazing school. And we have a lot of really great private schools. A lot of times people feel like they're trading culture for space. It depends on who you are. That's the honest answer. But for me, I'm a people person, and this is a people town. There is no place that has better people than in Austin. People are progressive, they're stylish, they're fit, they are down to earth and not pretentious. What is actually surprising? The community, when you are raising your family, is like no other. I had small kids when I lived in Los Angeles, and I was completely on my own. It shocked me that people arrived at my door with warm cookies when we first moved here. Wow. They also invited us. We had 5 invitations to Thanksgiving. We moved here in August. We met a lot of people very quickly. I moved to a very special neighborhood called Cuernavaca. It's not for everybody. I call it the Venice Beach of Hill Country. It's got a high and low aspect. So there's waterfront estates in the $15 million range, and you can even get something for $600,000-700,000 in this community. There are also streets with trailers on it. So think of Venice like 20 years ago with that high and low factor. That's what Cuernavaca is. However, people were warmer than I could possibly believe. We moved here in August. By Thanksgiving, we had 5 invitations. They were so worried about us not having family here that we had all of those invitations. So sweet. And you'll just find that over and over again. Raising a family is a whole different animal here. People come together. You need your kids picked up because you have an appointment or you have a meeting. People are there for you like I have never experienced before. Now it's been, we're in 2026 now, so it's been 12 years of us living here with a brief stint in Napa for 2 years. And I have to say, there is no place better to raise your kids. What is it that makes it so great? It really is the community. The saying that it takes a village, there is a village here. People open their arms, they invite you in, they show up to dinner parties. How many dinner parties did I have in Los Angeles where people did not show up? I like to give a good dinner party. I am slaving away in that kitchen for many hours before people show up. In Austin, people actually show up. There's a lot going on in this town. So sometimes you might have to dig to like find your sweet spot of whatever your interests are, but whatever your interests are, they are here. And there are a lot of people tapping into similar things that you like back in California. The Hill Country Light, it is a whole different thing here. If you have been, then you might have been surprised by how green it was. I was shocked. I remember sitting on that airplane, looking out the window and being like, why is there a lot of topography? I thought Texas was flat everywhere. And why is it so green? And what are all these waterways? There's a lot of water. There's a lot of boating. There's a lot of outdoor fit culture here, which is important to a lot of people from California, including myself. We have hikes. They're never going to compare to Malibu hikes, but there are some great hikes here as well. One of my favorite hikes is the Hill of Life in Lost Creek in Westlake. It's like an 8-mile hike, but I usually do it for about an hour. So we probably get, 3 miles in there. And there's even a running stream and dogs. It's a dog culture. If you are a dog person or family, people love their animals here, which is such a nice thing. I feel like we're always having to keep our animals on a leash. In Los Angeles, if you go to Zilker Park on the weekend, it is packed. It is our central park here, and there are dogs everywhere. A lot of dogs are off leash and people are having a blast connecting. Dogs are having a blast. It's a lot of fun. The scale of the homes, just as a standard, we would say 2 million in LA will get you about 2,000 square feet. 2 million in Austin will get you 4,500 square feet. My home is probably priced around 2 million, tipping over that right now. This is what my home looks like. Yes, you get more for your money. It's changed a lot since 2014. but it is still a great place and a great place to invest because we are a city that is growing and exploding. And with all the tech coming here, it's driving the prices up. We had that spike in COVID. It's settled down about 25%. And now we are on a steady, nice and healthy climb. So it's also a really good investment. The outdoor rooms are a big thing here, just like they are in California. We do spend a lot of time outside. Our best seasons are fall and spring. It does feel like California weather. We do have a lot of heat in the summer. I am not going to lie. It is something to get used to. The bugs are something to get used to, but you get used to it. All of a sudden, 95 degrees feels very, very manageable. The beauty of Austin is that we don't have the humidity that a lot of the other parts of the South have. So it is something that you can manage for sure. And then if you like a little bit of winter, we do get winter. We've had a handful of freezes over the 10-year, 12-year window that I've been here. And those are kind of intense. We've had some snow, but it is very uncommon. So you can wear a jacket in the winter, and not every single winter. Some winters you're just wearing light coats all winter long, like last year, but some winters you're actually putting on those big puffy jackets. If the school district is your number one focus, as it was for us, we knew that we wanted to live in Eanes. Cuernavaca is the most affordable neighborhood in the Eanes school district. And again, that's because of the high and low factor. A lot of Eanes is surrounded by very nice neighborhoods. Some of them are still in the middle of their upgrade, but there are beautiful rolling hills, and that Texas light is something to really enjoy. Our first house here in Cuernavaca, we did not have a view, but because the light was so gorgeous streaming through those massive oak trees, it almost felt like we had a view because our backyard was lit up at night. When that sun sets, it was just stunning. And it still is today. We have a little bit of a different angle on our current house, a few less of those big oaks, but we have a spacious backyard and lots of room for the kids to run and play. And there are parks everywhere. And one of the things that I loved the most about moving here at that time is the outdoor restaurants that have playscapes for the kids. We're not talking about fancy restaurants. We're talking about family-friendly restaurants. But these restaurants, a lot of them have little play parks for the kids. So if you want to meet another family or a girlfriend for a glass of wine, you can have that glass of wine while the kids are running around and playing. I have to say that was a big game changer for me at that time. So if we're talking about Eanes, then we're talking about what is happening over here. When you live in Westlake or the Eanes area, depending on where you are, you're between 10 and 30 minutes from downtown. And so you can get all of your great restaurants in downtown, and then living in Hill Country, you're going to get a lot of more family-friendly type of restaurants. We are getting more and more high-end restaurants out here, but it's not quite the same as downtown. The thing is, when you live here, you kind of shift. The things that were the most important thing to you in Los Angeles, the pressure of that Hollywood culture being on your back all the time, dissolves slowly over time. Your priorities shift into community, raising your family, building a life, having some breathing room in your finances, and just being able to take a little bit of time to settle in and enjoy life more. I'm also a designer, so here's what I see as a designer that most realtors don't talk about. Westlake buyers from LA often try to replicate the environment that they had in Los Angeles, but there is a warmth here that really makes a difference in your environment. So using more natural materials, and listen, I love modern. It can be all about modern, but bringing in a little bit of earthy element makes such the difference in the homes here. They actually have a better resale value when you mix that kind of modern edge with clean lines, but lots of warmth in textures. You can use texture on your wall. You can use it in your pillows, in your throws in your house, and having plants makes such a big difference. Indoor, outdoor flow, and spaces that are meant for gathering, because you tend to gather more here in the home, at least. I know that we've had a lot of that coastal gray palette. I think that is on its way out. And what we're seeing is kind of a more grayish, neutral tone. And we're even going into the warmer colors, and even darker woods are coming back. The best $1.5 million to $3.5 million homes that I see that sell for the best are the ones that feel like they belong here. Not like they were airlifted out of Brentwood or the Hollywood Hills. I help my buyers see that before they make any decisions, because it changes what you buy and what you do with it. The honest things that nobody says. Summers are hot, know it before you get in it. Property taxes are higher than you're used to, so budget for it. Austin has changed. It's not the sleepy town it was 10, 20 years ago. Westlake is insulated from some of that, but know that getting into it. If you want walkability, this isn't your community. This is not your neighborhood. You're going to be driving, and you're driving through smooth, rolling hill country, which I have to say, all of the green has this very calming effect on your nervous system. If you want a community, school district, and a home that becomes the center of your life, this is exactly the place to be. If you're seriously looking in the $1 to $3.5 to $4 million range in Eanes or the Westlake corridor, I would love to talk to you. And if you want to talk about how to design a home once you find it, I have a book coming out in the fall on exactly that, on intentional design. More details in the description. Tell me in the comments, what's something about Westlake that you haven't been able to find out? Let me know what you haven't been able to get a straight answer on. I'll answer it here. And if you want to have a no obligation phone call about what it's like to live here in Westlake or Eanes ISD or the greater Austin area, feel free to give me a call. All of my details are below. Happy house hunting.